evening, good afternoon to you guys. How are you tonight? Can you guys see me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. Hope you guys are okay. Let's do a couple very quick checks on the audio video just to make sure that we're loud and clear. All right, since we're on the air and this is live, this is not a recording. This is actually me hanging out with you guys, and my goodness, we got almost 2,000 people in the room here. Hope you guys are doing well. So let me make sure that I got a few comments here from you. Make sure that you guys are seeing me, and we will be getting the party started. Okay, 1 second here. Alrighty. Okay, 1 sec, folks. Just got to do this thing over here real quick, and we should be good to go. All right, everything good? All right, we're working. All right, perfect. All right, so tonight, it's been a while, since I hung out with you guys and and did a public broadcast, public, hangout, training, whatever the case is, and I kind of missed that. And what I wanted to do is get together and talk about stuff that can be very transformational for you guys. If you have attended any of my other trainings, other stuff, the level of just ideas and trainings that we're talking about, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. And my intention here for tonight is a few reasons. Okay, there's a few reasons I wanted to get together with you. By the way, you might want to bookmark this page if you want to, because later on we will be putting a lot more content on this page for you guys. Just kind of stay tuned to what's going on here. Couple ground floor rules, or kind of couple announcements, and then we're gonna get into the ground floor rules, I guess. The announcement is that we are not here to launch anything. There has been a little buzz going on. Is Vick going to be launching anything tonight? No. The answer is no. I just wanted to hang out with you. So there's going to be nothing for sale here. Just relax. Put your wallet away. I want to show you a totally different way of marketing here tonight. That we're about to get into. All right, it's going to be really, really awesome. I think you guys are going to dig it. Really, when I talk to our, High Traffic Academy members, our beta group, our test group, which, by the way, High Traffic is not launching tonight. Even if you wanted to buy it, you're not going to be able to buy it. So don't worry about that. Right? Vick is not here to sell anything. But I wanted, when I talk to our beta members, I said, look, guys, let's do, I'm going to do a webinar. I'm going to do a live show, a live training on Monday, the 23rd, and I'm just going to teach stuff that I have really have never taught before. I've been thinking about it, and it's going to be advanced material, right? So some of you guys are just getting started. By the way, how many of you guys are actually just getting started in the industry? Give me a quick why. Yeah, let me know. Or maybe you have been around the block. Let me know that as well. Let me know in the comments. We got over 2,000 people here. The ideas we're going to be talking about are really, really cool, right? And it is my sincere hope and desire that you guys run with them, put them to the test, and see how it's going to work out for you, all right? So that's that. Now, let's go ahead, and I don't want to take too much of your time. What I wanted to do is a couple things. If you guys can tell me, what are you promoting right now, right? Are you an affiliate? Are you building a team? Are you, selling your own products? Just give me a quick feedback. Let me know. This way, it's going to help me to kind of talk about points that will be more relevant to you, to what you need, right, in your business. So if you can just give me a quick, what your business is all about. If you're promoting affiliate stuff, if you've been around, if you're doing your own products, that would be helpful to know. Okay. Your own products. Okay. Man, this thing is flying like crazy over here. Not sure about you, but okay. MLM, your own products, Empower Network, okay. MLM, you guys are affiliates. Doobly, nothing, own products, okay. So, all right. How many of you guys would like to know how to get more leads, right? How to get more, how to get more conversions. When I say more conversions, I'm talking about like crazy conversions, right? Not just a little bit more conversions. I'm talking about like totally being able to just be this magnetic-like persona in the marketplace with whatever you're doing, whether it's, you're pushing affiliate products or network marketing team building, promoting MLM type products or your own products or whatever you're doing out there, right? How awesome would it be to you to have this ability to be able to get just tons and tons of leads, right, anytime you want. Be able to convert those leads effortlessly and make commissions effortlessly, right? That's kind of the dream of every marketer that's out there. But here's the truth, and that's what we're going to be talking about starting today, is that can actually be your reality, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys have have seen me out there, so I'm not going to talk about myself. That's not about tonight's show is not about me. I will not talk about myself over here. I want to talk about you. Okay, I want to genuinely bring some value to you here. In fact, let me do this right here. Let me go ahead and fire up our thing over here, right? And let's talk about this right now. Okay, you guys should be able to see my screen now. So let's fire this up. Let me make sure that I can see your comments from time to time. If you guys have questions, save your questions to the end, because we may have some time to go through them. Okay. Alrighty, just getting the comments loaded up over here. Takes a little bit because there's a lot of people in the room. Vic is gonna get a sip of water, and we're gonna rock and roll with this training. All right, perfect. All right, folks. Hey, listen. Another thing I'm going to tell you is, if you have been on any of my stuff, you know that, there's going to be, Vic just talks from the heart. That's what Vic does, right? At the very end of this, of our hangout here tonight, guys, I will be, I would like to make a very important, very personal announcement. Okay, that if you have been following me for any period of time, please stay to the end, because I just wanted to clarify something, right? And I wanted to make a major announcement that would be important for everybody over here on this call. And no, that's not an announcement of launching anything. It's actually something different. All right, so let's talk about this stuff. All right, you guys can see me. All right, cool. So that's what we're gonna talk about, right? Advanced influence and persuasion, how to get more leads and send conversions and big commissions. Now, here is the big, I guess, the fine print disclaimer, right? In like 25 or 30 point font, type font. So the results are typical. You got used to, everybody saying, hey, these results are not typical, right? We all got used to that kind of stuff. Here I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you that these results are typical, right? Here is the condition, though. These results are going to be typical for your business if and when you apply and deploy the strategies correctly. Okay, the stuff I'm going to be sharing with you starting tonight. Okay, you guys are in for a treat. You guys are in for something very, very special here. And here is the outcome for me personally. Okay, this is my personal, from the heart outcome, why I wanted to get on here, why I wanted to connect with you, and hopefully, what you can get across, or what I can get across, through this camera, through this lens, over to you on your side, and for you to implement, right? So I want to totally, completely change your paradigm. I want to completely shift your paradigm about marketing. Okay, that after this series here that we're starting tonight, you know what? You will never, ever, 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 ever be the same marketer ever again. All right, and that's for a good thing. I want to genuinely serve you tonight, folks. Okay, so that's why I don't really take anything personally of what people might say, or if there is a hidden intention behind this whole. Listen, this whole training is designed to serve you 1,000%. Okay, with no strings attached. Okay, and I'll be sharing with you some things that will make you think, that will stretch you, and most importantly, when you apply this, it will completely transform your business. Okay, so hopefully you got your notepad, whatever you're writing on to take notes with, because this is going to be good, I think, right? I'm going to be obviously talking about advanced invisible influence and persuasions, right? So how do you become this influential persona, and how do you affect people and persuade people invisibly, all right? So before they even talk to you, before they even deal with you, all right, how do you actually engineer that? And there is a way to do that. Very, very, very few marketers know how to do that kind of stuff. We're going to be talking about it. I've been fortunate and blessed to learn some of this stuff, to apply it, to test them out. This stuff works like nothing else. I'm telling you, it's going to be really, really good. I've never shared some of these ideas I've never shared with anybody, and I'll be sharing for the first time ever on this webinar. But this is working like beyond amazing. What I'm going to do, starting with this training tonight for you, is literally deliver a master's degree education in marketing for you. Okay, and you can take these, the stories. I'm sure, how many webinars have you attended? How many hangouts have you attended that, they give you a little bit of information here, and then they expect you to buy their stuff. And that's all good and handy dandy and everything, but you know what? That's what everybody's got used to, right? I'm going to show you tonight a totally different way of marketing. And folks, if you pay attention to what I'm going to be showing you tonight, if you pay attention from on two fronts, right? Front number one is pay attention for the content. And then thing number two is pay attention to how I'm delivering the content to you, because there's going to be a lesson in it of itself, right? And that's going to be super useful for you, especially if you're building teams, if you're building, network marketing company, if you're selling products as an affiliate. It's going to be very, very valuable for you. At the end of the day, you want to be that person. You want to turn yourself into a marketer to where you can call your own shots, and you can pretty much write your own ticket as far as marketing is concerned, right? And so that's kind of the idea here. All right. Now, here is the Nancy. I hope you if you're here. I just jumped into the chat room over here, right on this page, at 3:52 p.m. All right, as you can see there, the timestamp. Right as I was just preparing some stuff and things like that. And I just came across this comment, and Nancy said, Vic, I would really like to make some money. It seems like all I can do is fall for scams. I will be at your party, Nancy Griffin. Nancy, I want to answer this publicly, and I think you ask this question on behalf of a lot of people, and I don't know your situation. Listen, you're watching. You got on this hangout because you saw an ad or whatever. Maybe somebody invited you. Maybe I invited you. Whatever the case is, and if you're feeling anything like Nancy's feeling over here, right? I really just want to make some money. Hey, my friend, I'm going to challenge you tonight. I'm going to challenge you to have your mind open, right? I'm going to challenge you to open, to really just open your heart and absorb this information, right? And just try not to ask too many questions. Try not to try not to put any of this information through a filter of, I know it's not going to work, or I know, I've tried something like this, or any of the previous, conditioning that you may have acquired right before. Because I can promise you, if you're just getting started, if you have never made money on the internet, this is going to be a very, very, very good beginning for you. If you are an experienced marketer, this is going to be a paradigm shift in marketing for you. If you're building a team, this can take your team to a whole new level, right? And I'm talking from experience, folks. I've been blessed to apply some of this stuff in my business, and results are ridiculously awesome. Okay, so Nancy, pay attention if you are on this webinar here. We're going to be talking about that stuff. Okay, here, write this down. Okay, if you're going to be writing ideas down, I'm going to be sharing with you quite a few ideas here tonight. I'm going to go rather quickly, right, so that we can get through this in hopefully an hour, or maybe less. We'll see how much fun it gets. But some of these ideas are going to be literally business transforming, right? And here's one of them, right? Never follow majority. Okay, never follow the majority. It's going to be a big idea to focus on. We all know that. We all heard about it. I've heard it thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And guess what? I was falling victim for for the very same thing I knew what not to do, right? Which is following the majority, right? If you are following the majority, what happens is you're focusing on this right here, okay? Quick metaphor. I like metaphor. I like to kind of paint pictures so that hopefully you can remember for a little bit longer, right? And by the way, folks, if you are taking notes, you want to make sure you take notes on this stuff, because what I found and studies have shown over and over and over again is that when you take notes, something happens between the hand and paper, right? When you write stuff down on paper, you tend to remember a lot more of this very same thing, right? So take a look at this, right? What we see here is an iceberg. Well, what Everybody, what the majority is focusing on is what's visible, what's at the at the top of this, right, of the water, which is the latest push button success systems. We've all seen those launches. Everybody's trying to push us something new, right? The latest traffic tactic, and yes, I am the traffic guy. I mean, I do traffic. That's what I do, right? Traffic conversions. That's what I do, big time. And yet, listen, latest traffic tactic is not what you need right now. Okay, we are going to be talking about traffic a lot. We're going to be talking about mega traffic. We're going to be talking about traffic, ideas and traffic methods. And I'm going to be walking you specifically when it comes to traffic getting ideas on how, about ideas you have never ever heard about that will blow your mind. We're going to talk about that. But for now, I want you to make a note, right? Latest traffic tactic. If you're looking for that alone and thinking that's going to, make your business, to succeed, you are mistaken, right? You're wrong. And I don't want you to, get mediocre results. I want you to get awesome results, right? As my follower and subscriber, I want us together to literally, I was just thinking about this the other day, kind of leading up to me wanting to do this hangout. I thought, listen, what if this core group of people comes together and we literally just change the paradigm of marketing, right? Like the face of marketing, how the marketing is done, how awesome would it be for everybody and for this community, right? And so, that's kind of, how I got inspired to do this training. Best closing technique. Some people are after the best, latest closing techniques. What's working now? What's working in your business? All that stuff is, good and everything, but it's just the tip of the iceberg, right? That's not the most important thing. And that's what the majority is focusing on. That's what they're following. That's what they're, running after, right? How to make a quick buck, right? How do you make an extra $500 a month, right? An extra $5,000 a month, and we see those ads all the time. And yes, that's how you get people in the funnel sometimes, right? But for you as a marketer, folks, when we're talking about advanced material, when we're talking about advanced time kind of stuff, we have to realize that all this stuff up above here, it's not important. What's really, really important, what's going to drive your business is the stuff that's below the surface, right? That nobody's talking about. There's a whole other world that controls, literally, and I kid you not, controls 99, maybe 99 plus % of your success. It's the invisible stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that we are going to be talking about, right? And this is the kind of stuff that, right here, as you can see here, is going to get you up to 80%, email open rate, right? And almost 25,000 emails sent. Over 80% of people opening up your emails, and I can show you screen after screen after screen of the kind of numbers that I was blessed and fortunate to generate in my business, and really just kind of engineer by simply applying some of these ideas and principles that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. Okay, this stuff flat out works, folks. I was blessed enough to apply this in my business and earned a lot of money, more money than I can ever dream about in my lifetime. But again, it's not about me, folks. It's about you. And so I want to serve you tonight, and I want you to hopefully get this, and hopefully you paid attention and applied this, and hopefully together we can do something really, really cool in this industry, starting with your business, right? So there's two ways to market. Okay, there's two ways to market. Somebody's saying my audio is lost. Anybody? Can you guys hear me? Okay, sound check. No, everything good. Okay, audio is good. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna move on, folks. I'm not gonna look at the comments here for a little bit, and then I'll come back to you, and we're gonna look at answering some questions maybe later, right? All right, perfect. All right, so there's two ways to market, okay? There's a typical way, and this is done by majority, right? And the typical way of marketing is basically goes like this, right? We get traffic, we get the list, we focus all of our attention on getting the traffic, getting the list, and that's good, right? And that's okay. That's what everybody's doing though, okay? We're promoting some sort of a program, some sort of a company, some sort of a product, whatever the thing is. We hammer the list until they buy or unsubscribe, right? We see people teaching us, hey, you gotta mail 50,000 times a day, right, to hopefully get conversions. Do you like to get emails 50 times a day or 50,000 times a day? Do you like to get emailed by somebody 10 times a day? Do you actually open those emails? Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know about you, I don't, right? We become numb when we do that kind of stuff. But see, that's what the majority is doing, right? This is the kind of stuff that's done by the majority, okay? And then what happens is when our list becomes unresponsive, when we start getting about 2% email open rate and, or less, definitely under 10%, yeah, we get frustrated, we throw the towel, we say, you know what, I'm just going to start from scratch and just do this all over again, okay? Not a great idea, okay? Not a great idea unless you just want to go circles and circles and circles. And that's how the typical way of marketing is done. That's how, a lot of what we know about marketing, we've been taught on how to do marketing, right? And that's, it might work for some people, but there is another way to market, right? There is another way to market that I'm just going to share with you guys my ideas and my perspective on it, and I call it the influential, effective way to market, okay? And this is a different type of marketing, completely different type of marketing. Most people have no clue about it, and those who apply it, I have been very, very diligent in applying this type of marketing in my business over the last few years, really, and the results have been just phenomenal. I don't have to push. If you guys are on my list, I don't send out promos like crazy, right? I don't email you every single day. I don't email you multiple times a day. I don't even email you multiple times a week sometimes, right? And so how do you engineer that, right? Well, the different this more influential, more effective way to market, it's a completely different paradigm shift. And some of you guys have been with me for any period of time. You still want to pay attention because I'm going to teach you something new here tonight, okay? Before we start talking about traffic generation, we need to understand the invisible laws of marketing. And yes, there are laws of marketing, right? Just like there are laws of the universe, there are laws of there's law of gravity and things like that, right? There are invisible laws of marketing. Whether we know them or not, they still apply to us, okay? And if we operate within those laws, we get awesome results. And if we don't operate within those laws, whether we do it intentionally or not intentionally, or thinking that we're somebody, pretending that, hey, we're the guru to the gurus, or whatever the title we put on ourselves, and, we think that somehow those laws are, don't apply to us anymore. Well, we're going to suffer. Hold on. This Dasani water is really good. All right. So then we apply the 3 factors of invisible influence. Okay. I'm going to walk you through this stuff tonight. So hopefully you're taking notes. Okay. Only after and when we understand this stuff, okay, do we focus on getting traffic, okay, which is, the same kind of, bullet point that we saw in the typical marketer's way, right? We need to get traffic and we need to get leads. And I'm going to show you a lot. We're going to talk a lot about that stuff together as well. Again, for free. You won't even have to buy anything, okay? So we still need to get traffic, but only after we understand the first two bullet points I just showed you up on the screen here. Okay. Then what we do is, instead of shoving like everybody else, right, and just hammering our list until they buy or unsubscribe, what we do is we deploy strategic ways of marketing, strategic methods that allow leads to become customers. Okay, we're going to talk about that in great length, and you guys will really, really love that. Okay, we don't sell to everybody, right? We simply allow. That's the key word here, is you allow leads to become customers. Okay, and then you automate the process and you scale. That's where the beauty is going to come in, right? Is when you are able to unplug yourself and you have systems that work on your behalf day in, day out, and it constantly builds the 1, 2, 3, 4, the top 4 factors that's on the screen above, right? And it scales automatically for you. That's where you want to be. Okay, you guys with me so far? Is this making sense so far? Okay. Very poor sound. Let me see if I can adjust my microphone just a little bit. Hopefully that's going to be, is that poor is in low sound, or is that poor is in like scratchy sound? Let me know, folks, if I need to adjust. Okay. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and talk about, let's go ahead and just kind of break this down. All right. I want to break this down for you here tonight. Let's talk about the invisible laws of marketing. Okay. The invisible laws of marketing. There's a couple laws that there's many laws, okay, of of marketing. There are the invisible laws of marketing, as I call them, right? But the two major ones that we need to understand is that marketing is not the same as advertising. Okay, people think that if I market, if I advertise, if I market, it's the same thing, and it's not. Okay, marketing is not the same as advertising. You advertise to get people's attention, right? To come into your world. As soon as they come into your world through a landing page, right? Whatever you're promoting, what can be your product, can be your company, can be your affiliate program, whatever you're promoting. As soon as they come in through the door and kind of get on your list, that's when the marketing begins. Okay, that's when there is a huge misconception. There's a huge fallacy that people think that I'm a marketer. Well, I advertise, I put ads. That's called marketing, and it's not. Okay, it's not. Got to get that clear. Marketing and advertising, they're not the same. Okay, advertising is external. Marketing is internal. Okay, that's another way to put it. Okay, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on here as well. Second law is this. Marketing is 90% mental, okay, and 10% mechanics. And everybody, the majority, is after the latest theme, for the blog, the latest, system, the latest this, the latest that, the latest gadget, whatever, right? And it's all nice, but it only accounts for about 10% of your success in marketing, right? So what I would like to focus on is how do you actually, what do you focus on that's the 90% so that your marketing becomes effortless? Right? So that you get insane conversions. So you can get 60, 70, 80+% email open rates on your emails. And the majority is saying, hey, email is dead, right? Email doesn't work, right? How are you able to attract your list to you, right? And communicate with your list in a way that positions you head and shoulders above everybody else, and it's totally invisible, and they want to follow you, they want to buy your stuff, and they don't even know why, okay? How do you do that? There's a way to do that. Okay? So, all right, so let's talk about that. Take a look at this, all right? Here's another metaphor, another example I wanted to share with you, okay? These are our fruits, right? We want to get more leads, we want to get more sales, we want to get more money, we want to get the good life, okay? These are the fruits that we want to get from being a marketer, right? And that's why a lot of us got into this industry and, and started doing whatever we're doing, right? Because we want more of those good fruits, right, as a marketer. And that's great, right? But again, that's what the majority is focusing on, and that's, what we focus on a lot, right? Totally forgetting that, what's going to drive those fruits, what's going to help produce those fruits, right, are your roots, right? And again, we heard a lot about this, especially if you come from personal development type stuff. I'm not here to get personal development, stuff on you here tonight, folks. That's not what we're going to be talking about. But it is important to know, right? And it is important to understand that as a marketer, right, your fruits, your leads, your sales, your money, your good life, everything that you're after, right, is going to be determined by your roots as a marketer, right? So that's what I want to spend majority of the time talking about today. And then we are leading into the actual, more external stuff only after we tackle the internal stuff that's going to really provide and really produce the results that you really, really want in your business. Does that make sense? Okay, so the three big factors, okay, there is three big factors to invisible influence. Okay, you may want to write these down. There is three huge, just ginormous, gigantic factors that will determine the level of influence that you will have within your marketplace. Okay? Now, let's talk about this. Thing number one, I'm going to just go through them quickly, all right? Thing number one is going to be the big factor number one is going to be confidence, okay? Second one is going to be a strategy, and then thing number three is going to be authority, okay? I want to talk a little bit about this stuff right now, okay? I want to talk how do you get more confidence, okay? It is important, right? If you don't have this stuff, guys, listen, forget about getting more traffic or leads. It's not going to serve you. Okay, you're going to be running circles. You're going to be starting and constantly, trying to, get the latest and greatest idea or tactic, a traffic source, and constantly pouring money out. And your business is going to be like that leaking ship, right? And no matter what you do, right, it's just going to sink, right? It's not sustainable. Okay. Before we talk about leads getting, and before we talk about all that kind of outer world, let's talk about how do you create your inner world as a marketer. How do you align that together, right? And how do you actually deploy these strategies in your marketing so that when you are running traffic and when you are getting people to your list, when they're getting on your list, you know what? They just don't know why, but they want to open your emails instead of somebody else's email. Okay, if they get emailed 50 times from 50 different marketers in the same day, you know what? The first email they open is going to be from you. Okay, how awesome would it be for your business to have an authority and influence like that with your people, right? Pretty awesome, right? This way, I mean, you're totally, you're playing this game on a totally different playing field. Okay. All right. So how do you get confidence? All right. Let's kind of start from the basics. Okay. Confidence comes from competence. Okay. So the more competent we are at something, guys, I'm going to get a little bit deep here on you. Okay. So just kind of pay attention, because some of this stuff, here's the thing. Here's a big idea as well. A lot of times we put all of our attention on the tactics and the methods, and we just live in this marketing world, right? But you know what I'm going to tell you? What I've learned is that you can take other areas of your life, right, that you are really, really good at, and when you apply those into your marketing world, right, you tend to get the same great results as you're getting in other areas of your life that you're really, really competent in. Okay, so competence comes from a few things. When we're talking about marketing, competence is going to come from knowledge, right, and applying what you're learning. Okay, very, very, very important. We become competent by doing stuff, and we do stuff by learning how to do certain things, right? So we become the student of what we do. Okay, so we get competence, and competence. Here's another thing. I used to think that I needed to become this great or get these great results before I can start talking about them, right? And the truth of the matter is not, right? You don't have to get these great results in order for you to become competent in something. You just have to get a result. Okay, a result, and then build on those small successes over and over and over again. And before you know it, you become confident in that particular area. But here is something else you might want to consider, right? Something else that I found really, really helpful for myself is you can actually borrow competence from other areas of your life, and you can apply it, and you can build confidence through focusing on those other areas of your life that you are good at, right? Because remember, when we're talking about roots, folks, we're not just talking about marketing world. We're talking about our entire life, right? We're talking about your being. We're talking about your state of mind. We're talking about your inner abilities, that you know what to do when you do certain things, right? And I'm sure that, you're probably good at several things in life, right? I'm good at a few things, not everything, but I'm good at a few things, just in life in general, right? And outside of marketing, I'm okay with marketing, but see, marketing is not the major focus here. The major focus here is transferring the competence into becoming more confident and focusing on that confidence, right? And then applying that and kind of borrowing and moving that over to your marketing world. Very, 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 very big thing. Okay, now. Another thing I want to talk about is this little thing called self-control. Here is an idea for you, okay? Here's an idea for you. How do you think you are able to control, multitudes, right? Your list, thousands of people. How do you think, or do you think you would even be able to influence people if you cannot influence yourself on a personal level? Okay? Here's something to think about, right? We all have our, small goals as people, right? Guys, hang on here. This is gonna get a little bit. This is gonna get a little bit. Might get a little weird. All right, but I promise you, when you apply this and at least test it out for the next, several days, 3 to 5 days, just give it a test, and come back and you let me know how it went for you. Right, at our part 2 training here, coming up next week, you will be amazed at what can happen. Okay, a lot of times we don't get results as marketers is because we don't see ourselves as, somebody who can control ourselves, right? We want something, we set our goal. Hey, I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning. And then, you let a day go by and you just, I'm just going to make an exception here, right? I'm not going to do it. We set a goal. Hey, I'm going to lose, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, whatever. And then you just, life gets in the way. Whatever, something happened, you forgot about it, and then you mad at yourself, right? And then, before you know it, that kind of energy spills over to your marketing, and you're not able to get the results, and you're trying, you get frustrated, and it's just a nightmare, right? Self-control is going to play a huge role in your ability to influence people, influence others. If you can't influence yourself, if you can't influence, the small things that you can control in your life, right, you will never be able to influence other people. Okay, especially when we're talking about this advanced type stuff, which is advanced influence or invisible influence, right? Before they even deal with you, when they get to. Another thing is this thing called self-image, right? Is how do you see yourself? Here's a question for you: if I were to just meet you on the street, right, and I say, hey, who are you, right? Who are you? Just a simple question: who are you? What would your answer be, right? I'm a father of 5 kids. I'm 31 years old, right? I'm a male. I'm a female. Whatever you are, I'm a teacher. I'm a marketer. Who are you really? Here is an idea to think about, right? When I say who are you, right? Why not think of yourself as, I'm a leader, and leading others is secondary. I'm a leader of self. Okay? What we're talking about here, folks, we are going to talk about traffic. We are going to talk about, conversions a lot, right? But we need to make sure that if you are going to aim for, ridiculously awesome results as a marketer, if you want to totally crush your competition and dominate in whatever you're doing, right? This stuff, without it, you're going to be just another marketer, just an average marketer, right? Why do you think there is so many people who are doing exactly the same thing what the top producer is doing? Okay, they're getting the same traffic. They're sending their leads to the same system, right? But there is a handful of people who are crushing it, and majority is not. Why? Right? There's proof in the pudding for you. This internal stuff plays huge role on your external results. Okay, and when we are talking about marketing, it's extremely important. Okay, here's another idea. To get confidence, it's not about you. You're only a channel. Okay, a lot of times it's very easy for us marketers, and I personally fell prey in that trap. I got myself into that trap early on in my marketing days as a marketer. It's very easy to get your success to get to your head, right? It's very easy, if you start, making a few bucks here and there, right? You're thinking that, you're the thing, right? I'm somebody, right? Truth is, not really, right? It's not about you, right? If we make our marketing all about us, and we have to stay guard on for this every single day, especially as soon as you start getting results, right? Very, very important. If you want to have that invisible influence and persuasion within your marketplace, within your herd, within your community, it's very important to make sure that you understand this, that it's not about you, right? You're just a channel. Okay, you're just a channel. So another idea, and this has really, really helped me personally on a psychological level, is that believe in people that you serve. Okay, so we serve people. Okay, like I am doing this training class right now for you, and my intention is genuinely, right, just realistically from my heart's desire, is I just want to genuinely serve you. Okay, a lot of times when we market, right, when we do a promotion, when we do a campaign, when we send out an email, right, whatever is going on in your mind, my friend, whatever is going on in your mind, whatever your dominating thought is, if you're coming from a position of lack, right, listen, I've been there. I know exactly what it's like, right? I completely understand, but we have to make sure that we don't come across from a position of, desperation, from lack, from a negative point of, from a negative energy, right, standpoint as a marketer. Before you do your campaign, right, if you do a live hangout, or if you do a live, presentation of any kind, you want to do a self-check, right, and ask yourself, why am I doing this, right? really, why am I doing this? Who am I? And why am I doing this, right? And what really helped me, and this is really going to help with your confidence, with boosting your confidence, is when you realize that, you know what? It's not about me. I don't really care what people think about me. I'm just there to serve my people. And you know what? I believe in my people that I'm serving. I believe that they can be successful. I believe that, like, when I'm doing this hangout, if you were to see me, right, I would actually, as a matter of fact, let's do this right here, okay? Like when I'm talking to you, right, when you're looking at me, I genuinely, right, I believe in you, okay? I believe that you can be successful. And I believe that, when you apply, the ideas, when you genuinely take this and just sit back and say, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a shot. I'm really going to just give it a shot. I'm gonna sit down and actually take the time, right, to map out whatever I need to map out to really just create my identity as a marketer, right? And I'll just see what happens. And I'm gonna be totally genuine about it. Listen, I believe that your business will never be the same again. I wrote this, and Paul, he's one of our members. I wrote this, there's some of the things that that kind of keep me on track, mentally, and some of the things that I wrote on here, just to kind of keep me on track is, I say, look, my kind of like my personal things or my personal commitments, right? And I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. It's got some of the goals here and things like that, which important to write, but we're not going to talk about that now. But here's a couple things that I kind of that I tell myself every time before I do a campaign, right? Before I do a major promotion, before I do, a live hangout, or before I get on the call, before I get on the stage, or whatever the thing is, right? I say this, just kind of self-reminder that I have fun creating video. When I'm creating a video, right, I just tell myself, listen, I have fun creating videos and serving my customers and clients. That's literally my intention, right? I write my intention down as a marketer, right? Another thing is this. I say, I will induce others to serve me because I will first serve them. Okay? It's written down. Okay? It's right here. Paul, actually, one time he came to my office. He's like, what is this? I'm like, well, some of the goals that I wrote down. And this was, going back to 2012. I don't know if you can see the date. But it goes back to 2012, and that's what I had written, right? Back in 2012, and just kind of re-edited it a little bit, right, to update it. And he actually saw that. And some of the other things here I have on here is, I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. Okay? At the end of the day, folks, okay, whatever you do, we want to make sure that let me get back to the screen here, okay? We want to make sure that, there you go, that we believe in the people that we're serving. If you're just doing this, to make $1, right, it's going to be difficult. It's not gonna work. Hold on one sec here. All right, I'm going to share with you guys one little thing that really helps me. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. We're back. I just wanted to make sure that this is all right. So, do you really want to know the like my personal secret to what allows me to have the confidence and just an attitude of, no matter what happens, it's all cool, right? And it really, really helps me in my marketing. It helps me, it helps me when I'm creating a campaign. It helps me when I'm doing something major, right? It's know your true source of success. Okay? That's right. It's know your true source of success. Okay? When you get this, I'm not sure this is, this might be a little bit controversial, whatever, right? I'm just going to, hey, this is my room, right? And I can say whatever I want in my room. Hey, I got you all here, right? I got 2,300, 2,400 people in here. That's awesome. But guys, I can't share with you something I haven't been doing myself. I can only share with you stuff that really made a difference for me and moves the needle for me personally, okay? One of the things that gives me tremendous boost of confidence and just an authority and and being detached from the outcome, right, as a marketer, which by the way is important, is know your true source of success. And it's not your abilities. It's not what you learned. It's not you, okay? It's not you. This picture right here, this picture inspires me, and I look at it every day, okay? This picture is a big secret to my success, okay? This picture can make a world of difference for you, for some of you, maybe not all of you, okay? But I want to share it with you, okay? So this is the galaxy, right? The galaxies, right? The thousands and hundreds of thousands, or perhaps millions of these galaxies, right? So when you realize, see, look at any one of those small dots out there, right? Any one of those small dots, and just imagine that each one of those dots, it's like a galaxy, and there is whole, there's other, thousands upon thousands of different worlds, right, within that galaxy, right? Stars. And everything is circling just perfectly around the sun. Precisely, right? And there is an order to everything. And just imagine, right, us marketers here on this planet called Earth. And it's so tiny, it's like that grain of sand on the ocean beach. Just literally a grain of sand. And then you kind of zoom into that one grain of sand, and there is our world, and there is, the different countries, and then there is different cities and states and cities, and then you keep zooming in and zooming in and zooming in, and then there is you, the marketer, right? And then you want to be successful, and then you want to, you're on this webinar, and you're learning how to influence people. Realize, my friend, what the true source of your success is, and it's not you, because you're this one little, this grain, it's when you look at yourself, when you look at the world from this kind of, in this context, right, in this contrast, right, you really are able to elevate yourself and just operate from a totally different, sphere, right, than most people. And you realize that there is, there is a creator, right? And that creator is your source to everything you want. That's my big secret, folks. So let's talk about strategies, okay? When you understand some of the strategies, right? Or when you understand some of the stuff we just talked about here up until this point, right? And then you move into creating strategic plan of action, okay? What you do is you operate from a higher level of awareness. You see, for you to get different results, you have to operate from a different playing field. You have to operate from a different level of awareness. So if you can imagine, right, like a ladder, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, and kind of going up, right? There's different levels of awareness. And if your marketers are at level, let's say, everybody in this industry, let's just say, like a level 3, right, of awareness. See, the higher up the ladder you get, it's like that big, skyscraper. You go to, a third level, and you say, you look at the, you look over to the east window, and somebody asks you, hey, what do you see? Well, you're gonna say, well, I see, another building, right, and I don't really see much. And then you go up to 50th floor or 70th floor, right? And then somebody asks you, what do you see? Looking out the same side on the east, right? And now your view is totally different, okay? Here is a big secret for you. As a marketer, you have to constantly elevate yourself to a higher level of awareness, okay? And you operate from a higher level of awareness. When you do that, and this is deep stuff, and I know it's going to go through, over a lot of you guys' heads, and some people on here are not listening. That's totally cool. But this is the stuff that really helps me, okay, personally. It makes a difference for me personally in my business. And I'm confident it's going to make a difference for you if you actually get this, okay? Now, you might want to watch this, 5 times or maybe 3 times. Some of you, some of the ideas that I really want to resonate with, some of the lessons that I want to learn for myself, for example, in any topic, right? I would watch a video or a training 5 times, 7 times if I have to, until I actually get it, right? But when you get it, something magical happens, and when you get it, you start operating from a higher level of awareness, right? Understanding all those laws of of marketing and how to how you stack up against these other marketers, and see when you operate from that kind of level of awareness, something happens that you can't really explain, right? See, what you become is an authoritative servant. Okay, that's who you become, and it's no longer about yourself, guys. Everything we're going to talk about here from this point on is going to be building up on the foundation that we're kind of laid at the beginning of this. Does that make sense? Okay, every single move that you make, if it's in your control, okay, should be strategic. So every single post you put up, blog post, every single video, every single email, every single Facebook comment, every single Facebook post, everything you do, right, needs to have a strategy behind it. That's kind of filtered through the lens of the stuff we just talked about up until this point. Okay, so the idea here is for you to become an authoritative servant. Okay, and the key word there is authoritative servant, right? Because what you do then is you are strategizing about how can you outcool your competition, right? How can you? Here is a big secret to success. Whatever you're promoting, whatever market you're in, right? You serve your people better and more, right, than anybody else in your market. That's really the short of it, right? But when you do that through the context, through the lens of the stuff we just talked about, right? Powerful stuff happens, and people can't explain it. People can't help but just flock to you and do business with you, okay, and follow you around, okay. Now, all around, you just want to be fun to be around. Okay, you just want to be a fun person to be around. We're going to talk a lot about strategies, folks. We actually have an entire module dedicated that I want to present to you on strategy alone that will really, really help you, like specific stuff, specific ideas, specific strategies as a marketer, as an affiliate, as a network marketer. How do you implement specific things in your emails, in your follow-ups, around your business, right? But all around, again, it's important for you to realize people want to do business with people, and if you are fun, if you're fun to be around, and you do everything through the lens of the stuff we just talked about previously here a few minutes ago, you will become literally a magnetic marketer. Now, there is a third component, right? There is a third component to creating an invisible influence, and that's authority. Okay. Now, authority is this. Before we talk about authority, let me mention this. You will never outperform your self-identity, okay? So how you identify yourself as a marketer, how do you identify yourself as a person, right? I can never get stuff, I can never do anything, right? I'm always screwing things up, right? Anything I touch is just, it crashes all the time, or I break things every single day. Whatever your identity is, or maybe you see yourself as, maybe from this point on, your identity becomes, I'm a leader. I'm a leader of self, right? I am totally dependent on the source of my success. And I realize that, if there was a whole universe, right, that is just ridiculous to even think about, it's just mind-boggling what's out there. And everything is operating in order, and there is a source to everything, and that same source I'm plugged into, right? See, and your identity is I'm a leader of self in small things, okay? I'm a leader of my small group. I'm a leader. That's your identity, okay? This stuff will make huge difference in your business, and I'm speaking from experience. Okay, so let's move on. Again, your authoritative servant. We'll talk about that a little bit more in details here. All right. So another piece of that's worth talking about, when we're talking about authority, is the state of mind as a marketer. Guys, this is before we even get leads, before we even start marketing, before we even do anything. This is literally our, we take the time with ourselves, and maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 2 days, maybe 2 weeks, maybe I don't know, however long you need, right? But until we actually get down and just really identify what we want to be known as, what we want to be known for, what your true, what you're identifying yourself to yourself as, okay? That's how others are going to see you. Okay? If you mess all around, in self, within your mind, if you can't control your own world, how are you able to control other people, right? And listen, I'm not somebody who is, all perfect and talking about this stuff. In fact, no, right? I'm sharing with you from my experience. And when I was, when I was, in the area of my life, when a point in my life to where, I was like, why can't I just like when I'm trying to when there is an area of your life that you want to change, right? And everything you do is like you can't really change it, right? Like, for example, whether it's wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 or 7 o'clock, whatever, it's maybe setting yourself a goal. Hey, I'm gonna read for 30 minutes a day, right? And then you do it for a day or two, and then you forget, and then you're like, well, I'm just gonna do it next time. And it's small things like that play a huge role. And then you get mad at yourself, or maybe you sit down at the dinner plate and you're gonna say, you know what, I'm just not gonna eat a lot today, right? And then before you know it, you ate a whole bunch, and then next day you feel like crap, and you're mad at yourself. See, it's that kind of stuff that when we start controlling, right, it's your state of mind, right, that's going to spill over to your marketing. And state of mind, again, your self-identity is important. But the state of mind I want to talk about from a context of being a marketer is be like a doctor, right? Like, for example, when we go, again, everything has to be filtered through the stuff that we just previously discussed, okay? Very, very important. Yeah, you can't just take one thing from what I'm presenting to you and just start building on that, right? It has to go, and it has to be in order. That's my opinion. Again, maybe you have your own opinion, but that's just what worked for me. Okay, so the state of mind is important. Think about it. When you go to a doctor, okay, and he diagnoses you, right, or maybe he checks you out, and he gives you a prescription, right? The state of mind of the doctor is not like, hey, do you want this? Hey, maybe you should get this. What do you think? Hey, what about this? What about that? The doctor says no. The doctor says, hey, here's a prescription. Go for it. Okay. And something else. Have you ever noticed that when you go to a doctor, right? When you go to a specialist, after a visit, he doesn't say, hey, thank you for coming, right? Thank you for coming. He doesn't say that, do they? Right? Next time, pay attention. Right? It's actually pretty interesting how because the doctor, right? People go to the doctor because they want to go to the doctor, right? And when they go to, especially if it's a specialist, right? They have a tremendous amount of authority over us. Okay, when we're at their office, right? So how do we actually take that kind of state of mind of being like a specialist, right? And in order for you to be a specialist, you actually have to identify what area you want to develop in, right, as a marketer. What do you want to be known for? Okay, and again, we're going to be talking a lot about that a little bit later on as well. Okay, so it's your posture. Okay, once you identify yourself, your self-identity as a marketer, right? Once you identify, what my specialty is going to be, right? Your posture, everything you do, right, has to fall in alignment, has to fall in line with that persona, right, that you want to be. Okay, it's the tone of your communication, right, plays a huge role. Okay, when you are, like, for example, if you are doing a sales presentation, okay, maybe you're doing a hangout, maybe you're doing a sales video, maybe you're maybe just flat out doing a video for your landing page or whatever the case is, right? Anything sales related, right? How you talk is very, very important. Okay. Let's say if at the end of every sentence you raise your voice, you say, hey, this is Vic, and I'd like to talk to you today about the thing that we're going to be doing, and I'd like to invite you. See, if you're raising your voice at the end, just one example, right? And obviously I'm over exaggerating this, but when you're doing like that, right, it's like you asking question, right? It's like you're not sure, right? So and I've seen a lot of people do that kind of stuff and not even knowing, right? It's important to present yourself like when you go to a doctor, right? Just kind of think that when you're doing your campaigns, and it's very, very matter of fact kind of tone of voice, right? You don't, you're not asking questions. You're just, here's what it is, boom, 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 right? And you have that tone of voice that's kind of like that. It's more like instructional. It's more like, hey, you know your stuff, right? You're confident. It's the tone of confidence, I guess, is what it is, right? And again, when you apply the stuff that we just talked about, right, folks, I'm telling you, a week is all you need. A week. This time next week, when we get together, right, or when you watch a part 2, right, when we start talking about traffic and when we start talking about just specific ways for you to communicate with your list. Listen, you start with this, you get clear, you really focus on it for a week, okay, maybe even less for some of you, okay. You will see tremendous results. Okay. Another thing is expectancy. Okay. Expectancy is what you expect is what you will get. Period. If you expect to succeed, you will succeed. If you expect to fail, you're gonna fail. If you expect to, for people to ask you questions, they will ask you questions. If you expect for people to, if you expect to have a 3% conversion rate, you're gonna have 3% conversion rate. Okay. You get what you expect. Okay, and then when we talk about authority, there are signs of authority. Okay, so if you think about, again, if you think about a doctor, for example, right? A doctor, how do you tell that a doctor is a doctor? How do you tell? Well, they have usually they have a white coat on, right? There's, maybe other stuff hanging in their office, right? Maybe, nurses are he has nurses or whatever, right? So there are signs of authority, right? What are some of the signs of your authority as a marketer? Okay, if you want to be authority, if you want to have authority, you have to be authoritative. Okay, now there are different signs of authority that we may want to jot down and just kind of focus on them, all right, and see how many of these can you apply in your business. Okay, the probably the best sign of authority, especially in the Western world here, right, is a book. If you have a book on a subject, you're automatic authority. Okay, it doesn't matter if you know your stuff or not. If you have a book, people just subconsciously label you as authority on the topic, right? Plain and simple. A lot of us don't have a book, right? If you are able to write a book, great. But you know what? You can have your world, your own little world, right? You can have your own personal site. You can have your personal blog. If you don't have a blog, if you don't have a personal site, something to think about, okay? Something to think about. The last thing you want to be known for in whatever you're doing is just like another, you fill in the blank, okay? Just another affiliate, just another marketer, just another info product creator, just another, network marketer, just another somebody, whatever you're identifying yourself as, or people identify you, in that space. Does that make sense? So it's important. Okay, now what you do on your personal site, what you do on your blog is you talk about the topic that you want to be known for. Okay, associations is important when we talk about authority as well. Associations is people that you associate with, right? Companies that you associate with, and how people see you, right? Being associated with the other stuff is going to play a big role in your authority or lack of it. Okay, your own perspective, your own philosophy on things. Okay, see, when we go back to the majority factor, right? I guess one of the very important rules of marketing is don't follow the majority. Okay, if you look at what the majority is doing, they're just repeating what others are saying. Right? They're just doing what everybody else is doing, and that's kind of that's the world that they live in. Okay, my friend, I want to challenge you tonight. I want to challenge you to step out and create your own world, if you would. Now, this might not apply to you if you're just beginning to market. If you're just beginning to market, that's fine. You can get to it later. But as soon as you're able to, okay, you want to have your own perspective and have your own philosophy on things, right? When it comes to marketing. Like, I talk about this stuff because this stuff is something I live. right? I lived it. I experienced it. I'm not talking to you, about this from just reading about it, right? I'm talking to you about this from living it and from getting the results that I was fortunate enough to get, right? And now I'm able to share it with you, okay? The idea here is for you to become an independent of anybody, right? Is where you are not dependent on any products, on any company, on any, on any leader. You are literally independent and detached from all of that, and you can create your own world. You can create, whatever you want to create in your business, and you can control it. Does that make sense? Okay. Another sign of authority is if you do live events, okay, online or offline. Like, for example, this is considered a live event, right? And we got over 2,300 or so people over here right now. Looks like it's a live event, right? It can be an offline event, right? If you do that kind of stuff, you will become authoritative, right? Naturally, okay? But it's important to do all this stuff in the context and just kind of through the lens of the stuff we talked about up until this point. Very, very important. Like, for example, if we start talking about, when we start talking about, you having live events, right? And you don't apply the 3 factors of invisible influence, right? That we just talked about previously, right? Or you just do a live event and you don't really understand the invisible law of marketing, right? And you just put on your event, right? And it's all about, it's all about you and you just focus on making a sale, selling something because that's your intention, that's your goal, right? And that's all your focus, your entire focus is on that. Your event is not going to be a success, right? Your people will not resonate with you. Your people will not open up your emails later, and it's just going to be difficult for you to build your business. Okay, but when you do an event, for example, a hangout or a teleconference, when I was getting started, I remember in 2005, and I was promoting a direct sales company, and I would put up a Craigslist ad, for free, and I would get 30 leads, right, in a day. And I would email these 30 leads, and I would say, you know what, hey, I'm just going to share with you how I just got 30 leads in a day, right? And my excitement was through the roof. I was like, hey, I'm just going to genuinely share it with you. I'm not going to sell you anything, right? I'm just going to share with you how I got the 30 leads that I just got in a single day. And I would email it to these 30 leads. And I would say, hey, join me on this live teleconference. Back in 2005, we did not have Hangouts, right? And I think I used freeconferencecall.com. And you put up a conference, and you don't know how many people, or I guess people don't know how many others are attending, right? And you may have like 5 people show up, or 7 people show up, or 3 people show up. But you know what? You do that conference call as if there was 300 listening to you, or 3,000, and you give it your best, right? And you operate from the level of, you apply the 3 factors of invisible influence, right? And you operate from this, knowing of, I'm just an authoritative servant here, right? And you be strategic about what you do, which we're going to talk about next week a lot. Folks, people are going to be opening your emails. People are going to be buying your stuff, right? And you're going to be able to build a business that's phenomenally successful and that's going to stay with you for a very, very, very long time. And if you're up, if the product you're promoting right now is not going to be available next week or next month, right? Or if the company shuts down, if you have to move or whatever the case is, right? You are not dependent on anybody. You are dependent on yourself. Does that make sense? So very, very important. Okay? Is this making sense, everybody? Let me just, do a quick pit stop here. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We've been going on here for just over an hour. We are going to, next week, folks, I'm going to deliver, this stuff has been, it's really, really important for you to get great results in your business long term. Okay, if you're just here to learn the next traffic generation idea, right? You want to make sure to pay attention to the emails I'm going to be sending you starting next week. Okay, because we're going to be going into part 2 and part 3. And here's what we're going to talk about. In fact, next week, if you are interested in diving deep into this kind of stuff, okay, we're going to have follow up follow-up trainings and follow-up modules that you will be able to learn specific things and how to do it. For example, the 7 steps to total domination. Okay, I'm going to walk you through specific 7 steps to dominating whatever you're doing. Okay, literally from starting. If you are totally beginner, maybe you haven't promoted anything yet, it'll be a perfect way for you to start, because we're going to talk about how do you actually select a product, how do you select a niche, where do you start from the very, very beginning. And if I was starting out from the very beginning, right, knowing what I now know, okay, what would I do? And I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps, okay, over the last 10 years, everything that I've been doing this, everything kind of boils down to 7 steps. Okay, the most important 7 steps that will help you eliminate overwhelm, that will help you eliminate confusion, okay, and it will allow you to get massive results from the get-go right away. Okay, and we're going to follow up with the advanced mega traffic, and I'm going to show you some things how, when it comes to traffic, that it's just going to blow your mind. All right, traffic is one area that I'm passionate about, and I'm going to be teaching you this stuff for free. Okay, it's going to be 100% free training for you guys. And the idea behind all this is I want to serve you. Okay, if you want to learn this kind of stuff, I think it will really, really be beneficial to you. Then we're going to follow up with insane conversions engineering. Okay, so specifically, as you're getting traffic to your list, as you're getting subscribers, how do you engineer insane conversions? Specifically, how do you talk to them? Specifically, what kind of messages do you send out? When do you send them out? Right? Specifically, the strategy that you implement, right? On how to, how do you do all this stuff? Everything is going to be broken down, and when we're done, literally, you will have a knowledge equals to master's degree in marketing. Okay? Let me go ahead and do this right here real quick, so that I can there you go. There we go. So that I can see you. All right. What I would like to do right now is I haven't been looking at the comments, so if you guys can let me know how is this stuff making sense? Is this useful for you? I know that we're going to be diving deep into really deep. I've put up a lot of content out there on the internet, for free. The stuff I'm about to put up for you for free is going to top everything that you have ever seen me putting out there. All right, it's going to be really cool. But if you want to become this amazing, right, magnetic, influential, and super persuasive marketer, okay, you have to start from the stuff that we talked about today. Okay, very important. Okay, let me take a look at some of the comments and see if we have any questions or anything that we can help you. Okay. Okay. Here is what I would recommend that you do. Okay, between now and next Wednesday or so, next Thursday. Okay, next week, I would say probably. Let me look at the calendar here. So around maybe Wednesday or Thursday of next week, right? Watch your email like a hawk, if you want. All right, I don't really. It doesn't listen. I'm not doing this for any other reason other than just to serve you. Okay, as my subscriber, as my follower, I'll be putting out a lot of content, and so we're going to be talking about the 7 steps to total domination. Right, we're going to follow up with traffic and all that stuff I showed you. What I would like for you to do, if you accept the challenge, if you accept the assignment, if you want to do this, if you want to give it a shot, if you want to give it a test, right? If you want to test drive this idea, if you want to see if it's going to work for you, right? Is you might want to re-watch this webinar. I'm going to leave it up on this page for a few days or so. Okay, you might want to re-watch this a few times, maybe another time, maybe 3 times or so. Something is going to click inside of you when you do that. Okay, something is going to go inside of you. You go, you know what? I just got this. I just got this one idea, right? And that idea is going to take you to a whole other level as a marketer. Okay, when you come back next week. And when you watch, right, when you watch the training next week, everything is going to fall in place. Okay, it's just like that puzzle. See, what we're gonna do is we're gonna literally build like the outer edges. If you want to do that metaphor of a puzzle, right? And then all the inner parts is gonna just boom, 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 click into place. Okay, traffic conversions, all that stuff. I'm gonna walk you through this. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, the idea is this, folks. The idea is this. It's time for us to change marketing. Okay. It's time for us to be marketers that really make a difference in what we do. Okay, I don't know what you're promoting. I don't know if you're promoting a company, if you're promoting a product, if you're what your intention is. But if our intention is just to sell stuff, we're going to be selling stuff that's going to be whatever, as long as we can make a buck. Okay, and that's not what I would invite you to do. Okay, I would invite you to step back, identify. Create a self-identity for yourself and operate your business right from that identity as a marketer. It's going to make a big difference for you. Okay. Do we have any questions about the stuff we talked about? Let me take a look at the comments. HTA 2. Lots of questions about HTA 2.0. So High Traffic, as you guys see, High Traffic Academy, we've launched High Traffic Academy 1.0. This was back in 2000. I think it's 2011, 2012. So, I think at end of 2011. And it was great. A lot of marketing tactics, a lot of traffic generation. A lot of people saw a lot of success from applying those kinds of stuff, right? What we did here recently. How long has it been? Probably like several months now. Is we've put together a test group for High Traffic Academy 2.0, right? And really, what I said, instead of just launching or releasing another product, which it needed to be updated. There's lots of new ways to get traffic now, and there is a whole different way to market now, right? And I said, instead of just releasing another product, let's just focus on shifting the way that marketing is done. Right, on the internet, and so we have been, we put together a test group, a beta group for High Traffic Academy, revamped, totally redesigned, and we've been working behind the scenes on some things. And High Traffic Academy 2.0 is not going to be available until later. It will be available at some point, but you guys will hear about it when it does. The big announcement is this, folks. We have a lot of people on this call, and and I appreciate you. Okay, so here's the big announcement. A lot of you guys have been following me for a long time, right, on the internet. A lot of you guys have been on my webinars. A lot of you guys have been on my list. A lot of you guys have participated in the in the projects and everything like that. And as my business kind of grew, right, as your business grows, you will have a lot of people who will support you. That number of people are going to grow. Is going to grow, and also the number of people who don't support you, right, for whatever reasons, whether they're jealous, whether they want to capitalize on your name to build their business, right, to bash somebody, to hopefully bring themselves up, or whatever the case is, that's going to happen, right? So you have to have a tough skin as a marketer if you want to survive. Which to me, I operate from a mindset of I'm just a servant, right, and I don't really. As long as I put the best stuff I can, for my subscribers, that's all it matters, for me. And I didn't really care much about, the talks and, some people are, happy, or not happy with whatever, for whatever reasons, or trying to bash Vick, until, I kind of stepped back and I thought about it, and I said, I want to be a very authentic marketer, right? I want to be a very authentic for my subscribers, for my people, and I want to make sure that I can serve them from just literally give everything. Everything that I do is going to be to the best of my ability, right? To hopefully make a difference for you. So, as the business grows, right? You have customer service. You have people who are handling your support tickets. You have people who are handling other stuff of your business, right? And you just focus on whatever you focus on, and then your team, right? You have a team around you. So, folks, I just wanted to let you know that, if over the years, right? If there was anything that, if you were my follower, right? If you are my follower still, but if there is anything that you felt that that was either maybe you got neglected as a follower, maybe you got neglected as a customer, maybe you got neglected by customer support people, maybe you tried to maybe you think you got treated unfairly, whatever. Let us know. Okay, what I want to do is I want to make sure that you guys are taken care of. Okay, we're stepping into the new era of marketing. We're stepping into an era of marketing that is just different. Okay, it's different. And so what I want to do is a big vision is, look, if we can create or kind of put together this core group of marketers who are going to be super authentic and just really with an intention of making a difference, right, in this industry for whatever they're doing, right, and we all hang together. We all hang together. We all hang out together, right? We all support each other, and we all kind of fuel our own fires, right, for one another, right? And we all encourage each other to do the best work we can possibly do. Okay? You know what's going to happen is we're going to change the face of marketing in our space as we know it. If you're in network marketing, your brand as a marketer, you will totally elevate yourself head and shoulders above other marketers. Okay? If you're an affiliate marketer, you will have people coming to you because they sense your sincerity, right? And your authoritative servancy, if that's even a word. Does that make sense? And I want to be the first person to start that. Okay, so if you felt that you got neglected by by my team or myself or if you're my customer, just a follower, if you felt that you were done wrong in any way, please let us know. If you can email support@hightrafficacademy.com, okay, and let us know, and we'll do whatever it is in our power, right, to to help you out. Okay, but moving forward, I would like to, again, for people for a lot of us, right, that resonate with this message, that resonate with this idea, that really want to, to become this tremendously powerful, influential, and persuasive marketer and be genuine about it, right, and operate, within the laws of the of marketing, right, within the laws of the universe, and that would truly strive to make a difference, not the buck. Not the sale. The sale is going to come. The sale will always be there, right? You will never, ever, ever, ever have to worry about the sale if you focus on what's really, really important, okay? If we do that, folks, we are going to be able to change this industry. And I think we can do stuff that will really be significant for a lot of people, okay? So that's kind of my announcement, folks, okay? And, if you have any other questions, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Okay. Now here's an idea for you. If I don't know how many people we're gonna have emailing us, right? So if you email support, again, it's support@hightrafficacademy.com. All right, support@hightrafficacademy.com. If you email us and if they take like 24 hours or so to get back to you, because we have customers that we are giving priority to and stuff like that too. But we'll make sure that they reply to you guys as soon as possible. Okay. Okay. Cool. A lot of you guys are asking about High Traffic Academy. How do you get started? Hey, listen, that's not the today's hangout is not the point. I mean, High Traffic Academy, you guys will hear about it when it becomes available. I'm not doing, the last thing I want to do is I want to do a bait and switch on you. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to give you stuff that you can apply in your business right now, and that's what we're going to do over the next 3 modules. Okay, that we're going to do this, and it's going to be done. Again, next week, Wednesday or Thursday. Watch your email, and then it's going to be regularly, right? By the time you're done with this, listen, you'll be able to build your business just by applying that information. And you'll be able to take your business to a whole new level, right? Later on, we will be opening up High Traffic Academy, and you will hear about it. When we do, and if you want to become a student, you will hear about it too, okay? But my intention is to genuinely serve you as a follower, as a subscriber, and that's that's what I want to do. So let's see, questions. Okay, so the replay will be available. I'll just leave. You guys can come back to the same page again, and you'll be able to just rewatch this video again. Okay. Listen. With this being said, what we're gonna do is I'll tell you this. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. If you guys resonate with this message, if you want to elevate your status as a marketer, it's possible. Okay. If you have never succeeded, it's possible for you. Write this word down. It's possible. Okay, this phrase. It's possible. It's possible. Okay, it's possible for you to get what you want. Okay, it's possible for you to turn yourself into a very influential, very successful marketer. Okay, and it's possible for you to build a business that's gonna be centered around a core that never changes. Right, principles that never change. Principles that will help you go to any company, promote any product that you believe in, right? To promote any product that you create one day, right? And succeed with it every single time. Okay, it's possible, and it's possible when you apply the strategies that we talked about starting today, and the strategies we're going to be talking about, moving forward, starting next week as well. Okay, guys, listen, I appreciate you. And no, there was no upsell. There was no sell either, right, tonight. And there was going to be no sale next week either, right? So check your emails, folks. I appreciate you. God bless you all, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon. All right, bye-bye.